Ali Abdelaziz, Dominance MMA head, always a busy man, so I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to talk about your massive roster of clients. And Ali, I just want to get into it. Marvin Vettori, he's got a big main event coming up against Paulo Costa. Now, I've been seeing you on social media, man. You've been saying that Marvin's on a whole different level right now. So talk to me. What's the difference right now? What's clicking right now with Marvin?
Because Marvin, he's been sending me a sparring session every week because I ask him to do it. And I'm telling you something, the amount of volume he's throwing, the amount of intensity he's throwing, this is the new Marvin. I think Marvin is, he's really, he might lose his last other fight, but he can get a lot of confidence. He's 27 years old. He's still a kid. And I believe, Costa's a tough fighter, but I believe he will stop him in 3 rounds. Too much pressure, too much volume. I think we're going to see Costa shooting. He's going to try to wrestle Marvin. And I think because the amount of intensity he's going to bring to the fight is insane, especially in a small cage. And this is why I'm not just saying things to say things. I see it. And normally the hard work you put in the gym is going to transfer to the cage. And I think we're going to see a very, very great, fun fight. Marvin by stoppage under 3 rounds.
You can always count on Marvin for intensity, that's for sure. Let me ask you, Ali, what do you think the stakes of this fight are? I mean, obviously, as you said, he has the loss to Adesanya there recently. So, I mean, is Marvin still in the title discussion, do you believe? Or do you think he has to wait for somebody to hopefully unseat Adesanya so he can fight for the title again?
Listen, his job is to fight. If you're a tough fighters in the UFC, you have to fight everybody and anybody, anytime, anywhere. And Marvin, a guy who's always willing to do that, and he will do that. He just fought for the title. Other guys, Derek Brunson and Canary is going to fight. The winner probably get a title shot. But you never know. Somebody might get injured. You can see a scenario. Whitaker win. Derek got hurt. Marvin can squeeze in there because he never fought Whitaker, right? Listen, it's an unpredictable sport, and you just got to stay ready and stay active and fight as much as you can.
No doubt. We're talking about kind of unpredictability, right? It's not a main event, but Islam Makhachev has a big fight with Dan Hooker at UFC 267. So let me ask you about the fight first. I mean, with Dan Hooker stepping in on short notice, do you feel like this is a bigger challenge for Islam because of the experience and what he brings to the table? Or do you like this matchup even better than the original one for Islam? What do you think about this fight?
It seemed like people more interested into this fight than Rafael dos Anjos' fight. And Rafael is a former champion. I don't know why. But listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're going to put in there. If I have to rank Islam today in the pound-for-pound list, I promise you, he's top 5 pound for pound. I believe he will be one of the greatest UFC fighter we ever seen. The kid, I've been training with Islam for 7 years. I see him beating DC around, beating Luke, giving Khabib his toughest round. I believe he's something special. I believe he's destined to be a world champion, and people can say whatever they want about him. They know in my heart-earning soul, he's the toughest fight they can ever get. Listen, much respect to Hooker. They can say whatever they want. He's shown up. It's a payday. And I respect Hooker a lot. He's a nice guy, and I respect him as a fighter too. But he can say whatever he wants. His coaches can say whatever he wants. Team. He's getting paid to show up. The only way he can win is a lucky punch. Islam beat people every second of a fight. He never Islam vulnerable in a fight, right? He dominates people from people are gonna say, oh, he's boring, he's this, he's this. They say this about Khabib for a long time. Khabib is the pound for pound, the greatest fighter ever lived on this planet. Islam Makhachev, today, I'm gonna tell you a story. It was one middleweight guy in the top 5 I managed, and a light heavyweight. They come train with Islam. Islam finished both of them back to back in rounds. This is how good Islam Makhachev is, right? Islam Makhachev can finish anybody on any given moment, but you have not seen relaxed Islam Makhachev yet. Little by little, he's getting more relaxed, he's getting more loose. But I'm gonna tell you, loose Islam Makhachev will beat some of the guys in the top 5 in the welterweight division too. And he'll beat some guys in the middleweight division too. He is this good. We know, the media know, the UFC know, Sean Shelby know, Dana White know. You understand? They know how good Islam is, right? But Islam, he needs to talk more. He's not as charismatic as Khabib. He's a sweet, of a human being. He's a nice guy, but he's tired of this. You're gonna see more. When we sit down and talk with Islam, he's the funniest. He got charismatic, but he gets a little shy in front of the camera. And I'm gonna push him. He hit me for it. Listen, I pushed him to take this fight because he wanted to take some time off as he got married. There'll be a third fight in 7 months. But Dana White picked up the phone, and I know how the Middle East and the Muslim world need to replace Khabib. They have not replaced Khabib yet. And I think that was a great opportunity for him to replace Khabib, and he negotiated his contract after that. And he'll be making some serious money. All he have to do, he hated me for a couple of weeks, because me and Khabib pushed him to take this fight. It was Rafael dos Anjos. But, Dana, of course, I think it was a great, not only opportunity for Dana alone, it's a great opportunity for Islam to say, hey, Khabib is left, I'm here, this region need me, and he'll be compensated after this fight very well. I believe he's destined to be a world champion. There's not too many guys jumping to fight him outside Benil Dariush, because Benil will fight anybody, because he's crazy. And he's one of the most exciting fighters we've seen right now. He'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. I believe the best, the two guys fight for the title right now. I respect Dustin. I respect, the champ. But they're not the best two guys. The best two guys is between Islam, Justin, and Benil. This is the best two guys. The best two guys not fighting for the title. The UFC have to do that because they have to kind of erase the memory, of Khabib. That's why they went to a Chandler fight, right? But I understand it, it's business. But this is not the best two guys in the division fighting for the title. But it's an amazing fight. I'm going to buy it. You should buy it. Because Dustin Poirier and Oliveira is a very interesting matchup. It's a great fight, but they're not the best.
It's a great fight. So let me ask you then. So, saying that, if Islam Makhachev wins here at UFC 267, do you go back and try to book the Rafael dos Anjos fight again? Or are you thinking that maybe that's a number one contender fight and that right there might be enough for Islam to fight for the title?
Rafael dos Anjos wasn't a number one contender fight. Hooker is not a number one contender fight. Listen, if Justin Gaethje win, he's fighting for the title. If anything for crazy reason happen, it's have to be Benil and Islam, right? It have to be in Islam. At the end of the day, all these guys gonna fight each other. All these guys fight the title, But if Justin Gaethje win, that's what I was being told. He's gonna fight for the title. Listen, Islam wins. Poirier lose. I would like to side Poirier. I would like him. If Conor McGregor want to get one more ass whipping from the Dagestani mafia, we can give it to him. Listen, at the end of the day, he's still talking. He still insulted people, assaulted people. He's still going to jail. But listen, being locked in jail or being locked to Islam Makhachev, he have to choose. I believe he would choose jail.
Wow. So this rivalry with Conor McGregor is not over at this point as far as you're concerned.
It's not over, bro. This will never be over. It will never be over. This if it's on site, like they said. It can be in a street, hotel, because it's never going to be over. Because some of the things he said and he did and he never apologized for, insulting Khabib's father, wife, family, is not over. But guess what? He's irrelevant. He broke his soul. I said Khabib took his soul and never gave it back. Do you know that, right? He's a man living without a soul. But if he wants this business, we can give him this business. I think Oliveira, Poirier, but we have Dan Hooker. He's a tough fighter. We have to respect him. Listen, I respect him. I'm glad he got paid to show up, and that's all about it. He just got paid to show up to fight. The only thing it can happen, like Khabib said, a lucky punch. Outside that, Dan Hooker, he doesn't have much of a chance in there. I don't think many people have much of a chance in there. Rafael dos Anjos, and I like Rafael, he didn't have no chance in there.
Islam's a tough matchup for sure. All right, so I did want to ask you about Justin Gaethje. So as far as you're concerned, that is a number one contender fight. If he wins, he's fighting for the title. What do you think? Him and Michael Chandler? I think a lot of people on paper think that's going to be fireworks from the start. What are you thinking about this matchup? And I guess just to confirm, yes, you believe he fights for the title with a win.
I believe Chandler doesn't even deserve to be in there, but he's the guy that want him to be in there. He didn't deserve to get a title shot from the beginning, but they want to erase people for Khabib memories. They want to put somebody fresh, and I get it. He's a great promoter. They know why. If I was the promoter, I would do the same thing. Who's a guy I don't like too much? I think he's fake, and I think he's phony, and I think he, a couple of years ago he said something about me, and I don't even know this guy, and I kind of I held it because he never apologized for it. But guess what? This is not about me. It's a great matchup. It's two trucks. It's two trains. They're gonna clash. Somebody gonna go to sleep, and I can guarantee you, he's gonna wake up, and he said, "Damn, I don't know if I want to fight anymore after getting knocked out every other fight." And I think Justin Gaethje, you have to understand too. People think about Justin Gaethje as a zombie. He's not the same Justin Gaethje fought Michael Johnson. He knocked out Vic, Oliveira, Tony. He have to fight Khabib like that because you have to do house Khabib, right? But he have one of the best coaches in the game, Trevor Whitman. Chandler have great coach too, Henry Hoof. I'm not gonna take any. I like Henry, taken away, but I think what Trevor is doing now, nobody's doing. You know what I'm saying? Kamaru Usman is dangerous, getting better by the minute, right? Justin Gaethje, I can tell you a scenario. Justin Gaethje will fight the winner. He'll beat Chandler. Devastated knockout inside 2 rounds. After that, he will go fight Dustin Poirier. Devastated knockout in 3 rounds. And after that, his toughest matches will come. He will fight Beneil or fight Islam. And there'll be his toughest matches in the division. I think Dustin Poirier will roll his team, everybody in the top 3 right now. I don't think whatever Trevor is doing with him, it changed him completely. And I think he will knock out Dustin Poirier, will knock out Charles Oliveira, and will knock out what's his name? Chandler, the short guy, the midget. He's an overgrown midget too.
Oh man! All right, well, this perfect transition.
Listen, it's nothing personal anymore. I just don't like somebody, and I'm not gonna be sitting here and be faking it. And I'm not fake. I'm not fake. And I have my reason because the things he said about me, and I never did nothing to this man. But who gives a shit? We'll move on.
We'll move on. I'll ask you about another short guy. I want to ask you about Henry Cejudo, man. He made his stand-up comedy in Vegas last week. It was pretty fun, man. I actually enjoyed watching the show, but, he's been talking about coming back and facing Alexander Volkanovski. So I wanted to ask you is that really possible? I mean, is this something you guys are really exploring, or is this just Henry, keeping himself in the headlines and always having a little fun out there?
No. I'm going to tell you something. I never told the fighter to come back, and I never told Henry to come back. I met with him when he come for his comedy things, who I also attended. And I very much sat with him. I said, if you win this title, will you defend it? He said, 100%. I will defend it. I'll go to 135, and I'll fight for the title there too, right? I will never going to sit with Dana White and I put myself in a position like George and Michael Bisping did, because I was in the middle of that, right? Because I think it's not right, and I think it's wrong. I think UFC belt hold a lot of weight. You can't just have a guy fight for the title and leave. Henry will fight. He will beat Alexander Volkanovski, who I respect, and he will fight Max Holloway, defend this title, 100%. And if he loses, he will go down to 35 and keep fighting. It's not just going to be one hit wonder, cash grab. He really wants to fight back. I never pushed him to come back. He wanted to come back. Really wanted to come back. Very bad. But
so what about Dana?
I have to get Henry. I reached out to Dana. Dana was out of town last weekend. I have to get Henry, Dana, Sean, everybody in the office to convince them if Henry come back, well, defend the title. And if I put my name, my relationship with these guys mean a lot, and because they trust me, I trust them, and we have a great relationship. If I can get Henry to convince them, he will do that. And he will do that. If he did not convince me, I will not go with him to the office, 100%. But I will go with him because I know Henry will never lie to me. Henry is a good man, and Henry will go there, and he'll beat Alexander in devastating fashion. I truly believe he will beat Alexander. The height, the cardio, and also such a great fight. I always respect the champ, Alexander. But after last fight, I become a fan. I'm a fan of his, but I'm a more fan of Henry Cejudo, what he's been doing throughout the years. I feel Henry is the bigger star, and I think it's good for the champ, it's good for the UFC, it's good for everybody, but it's gonna come down to business. What the UFC think Henry can value and can bring. That's it.
Yeah. And I guess the reason Dana, I think you touched on it, but the reason Dana maybe hasn't necessarily seemed excited about it,
He
you
left
think
the
is
door
because
open.
he's concerned.
He left the door
He left the
open.
door open. He left the
Yes.
door open. Do you think he's concerned that it would be another George St. Pierre situation where Henry
No,
would
I
just
will
come
never.
in and
I will
leave?
never. I will never do this to Dana. I will never do this to him. Dana's been very good to me. I like him a lot. He's a legend. He's just I just cannot do this to him. I consider him a friend and like a business partner. I consider him a great promoter. I will never do this to him or any promoter because it will ruin my relationship and unethically wrong. It's not right. It's not right.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about outside the UFC, Ali, because you're staying busy with other organizations as well. I think the PFL finals, October 27th. If I counted right, I believe you have 8 clients in action on that. Talk to me about that night. Is there any of those you're most excited for, or what does it just mean for you as a whole to have eight athletes competing there?
But yeah, I have Ronnie Marcourt with me. I have Rizvan, who's one of the best managers in the world today, who's with me. And some our guys fighting each other. I get like Chris Wade versus Mavleed, and it's gonna be a great night. PFL, they really, really put a stamp this year. The production, the technology, the matches. You can say whatever you want about Ray. People say he's a coach. Guess what? This great matchup, one of the best matchups we've ever seen. And there's not one boring fight in the whole season. How is possible? Listen, you can get lucky a little bit, but he got lucky a lot because all this fight in the season was great. I respect him a lot. I think PFL, Pete Murray, Don Davis, Jim, they all put hard work and dedication. They are the top 2, 3 promotion in the world today. You know, it's always 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's always UFC, Bellator, PFL, 1FC. They put themselves in the conversation. And anybody who hating on PFL, they need to sit down. They are one of the top promotion in the world today. And I believe next season will be better. And guess what? They writing big checks. They writing big checks. Verdun, big check. Pettis, big check. Rory McDonald, big check. They all lost, but that show you how great PFL fighter is. You can be a UFC champion. You can get the PFL and get your ass whooped. You can be a UFC champion, come here and win too. Back and forth. PFL, we need just one more. We need everybody. We need the UFC, Bellator, PFL, 1FC. We need everything. Even we need some of the smaller promotions like UE Warriors, right? LFA. It's been a great season for PFL. You have the 6th title fight, but PFL chose Kayla Harrison to be the main event, right? That show you how valuable and how good this woman is. Because normally you put a man or a male before a female. She is the greatest female fighter we've ever seen. She's the most accomplished athlete in come to MMA, 2-time Olympic champion, a world champion, a PFL champion. Henry Cejudo, she even beaten Henry Cejudo in regarding that. She is. Because Henry got 1 gold medal, right? If Henry come back and win 1 more UFC title, he beat her. But he's not yet. And I think he will, right? She's a wonderful person. She's a great champion. She's dominant. She's dominant as Khabib. She always talk about Khabib. She is dominant as Khabib today. The way she beat people. She's dominant. You can put in a conversation with Khabib, Kamaru Usman, Kayla. Never lost. She smashed people. It's not her fault. She smashed people. People said the competition. You can bring any competition. We're ready. She's ready. And I think you're going to see a lot of great things from her on PFL this season and next season.
Well, if you mentioned the name Kayla Harrison, we got to ask you about what's going to be next for Kayla Harris. I know we don't want to look past this fight. Obviously, she wants to win another championship, but we know that she's made it clear she's going to be a free agent after this. Do you see her staying with the PFL? Do you see her going elsewhere? Has she given you any indication of what is most likely for her moving forward?
Listen, the PFL been great to Kayla, been great to me personally, but at the end of the day, I'm a servant of many master, and she's one of my master. I will do whatever she wants. Like PFL writing big checks. PFL can afford. They can pay Kayla whatever she wants. There's no problem. At the end of the day, Kayla did not give me the indication I wanted to leave. She won competition. PFL brought some competition. At the end of the day, she's a PFL fighter. She's fighting on October 27. We might do a deal before the fight. We might announce it, But also, I see Amanda's out there, Cyborg out there. It's very sexy matchups. And she want to be the best, right? You never know what the future holds. She's a PFL fighter. I'm not extremely excited about her going anywhere else. But whatever she wants, I will do, right? I like everybody from there. They've been good to us. And I'm loyal. And she is loyal. If somebody give me the craziest deal, PFL told me, hey, go ahead and take it. I'm going to take it. But right now, they write in the biggest checks right now. If somebody else come with a bigger check, they always have a right to match too. I might do a deal with them next week. We never know. But I'm honored to represent someone like her, not only as a fighter, as a person. They think the woman she went through, it will break a mountain. They will not break her. Nobody can break Kayla Harrison. If you hear me, you know what I'm talking about. Nobody can touch her. Nobody can break her. I'm inspired by her. And nobody can tell me is one better human being than Kayla Harrison. She's a beautiful soul, man. She is.
That's awesome, man. Well said. All right, I got to get just a couple more for you, Ali. Got to ask you about the UFC's welterweight division because you got Gilbert Burns, you got Vicente Luque, and they're out here just saying, give me anybody. I'll fight. They're both saying, I'll fight.
You got
so
Gilbert
what's going
Burns.
on? What's going to happen?
Let's give everybody the respect. You got Gilbert Burns, all in the top 15, Vicente Luque, Balal Muhammad, Santiago, Muslim Salikhov. I hope I didn't forget anybody. Anyway, this all in the top 15. Listen, Kamaru Usman is the king, best pound for pound fighter on the planet. I've been saying that. Finally, people get it. They understand it. I never cared what they think anyway. Best welterweight on the planet. You have to start talking about Kamaru Usman up there with Khabib. And, if you stick the needles in your butt, you disqualify. No disrespect to nobody. Fact. If you tested positive for any drugs, you out. Don't talk about it. I believe Kamaru surpassed George St. Pierre. Love George. Kamaru never lost. He tied up his record. He's going to break his record on November 6th. Never been dropped. Never been taken down. Never put in any kind of dangers in a fight. George did. George lost. George been dropped. George got taken down. Right? Love George. He's in Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Right? Kamaru have to be talking about as the pound for pound king. And I think Kamaru has beaten everybody. The closest person to deserve anything is Vicente Luque. This fact. The way he's beating up people. But I think Kamaru, I want him to do bigger things and better things, right? I want him to go to fight a real boxer. Go to middleweight division and go win a second title, right? I don't want him to fight some guys like Jake Paul. No, that's not what I want. I want him to go fight Canelo, the pound for pound king, pound for pound king. You have to understand, man. Dana White, he don't want to give me fights. Dana White is not in the business of give me fight. I'm not saying Dana's going to make this happen, but Dana's exciting and interesting fights, big fights, pound for pound kings. He's a real promoter. Dana White's a real promoter. He's one of the greatest promoters we've ever seen, and I respect him enough to not come to him with some bullshit fights, right? But at the end of the day, if we see Conor McGregor hang with Floyd for 11 rounds, I'm sure Kamaru will hang with Canelo for 12 rounds. That's what I think. This is my dream fight. Of course, the middleweight title, my eyes on it for Kamaru, 24/7. That's what I think.
Wow. That would be pretty amazing if he could accomplish either one of those fights. So, all right. So, what started? Because I agree with everything you said there. Usman deserves all the respect. But what are we doing with Gilbert and Vicente, man? I don't want to disrespect anybody else, but these guys are right at the top, and I keep hearing them say, "I'll fight anybody. Give me anybody," and yet we can't get them fights. So, what do you see
Listen,
for them?
at the end of the day, it's a UFC matchmaker job. He's these guys not gonna fight each other. They already offer them to fight each other. They're not gonna fight each other. You can offer the guy all the money in the world. They're not gonna fight. I respect them. I'm not gonna push them to fight. Because if they live in each other's house, their kid's friend, their wife's friend, it's very different. It's not like Kamaru and Izzy. It's completely different. They like brothers, right? And I'm not gonna push for this fight to fight. If they agree to fight, I'm okay with it. But if they don't want to fight, nobody should let them fight. Listen, there's always something out there for them, right? There's always something out there for them, and I'm sure the UFC will find something for them to fight.
No doubt. You keep mentioning. Now I'm thinking about it. Usman and Adesanya in Africa in the first UFC pay-per-view over there. Wouldn't that be something spectacular? You think that's an angle to push for?
Like I said, I respect Israel. I like Israel, and these guys. Mike Tyson told me this last month. He said, "If we're friends, if you're my friend and you stop him from making money, you're not my friends." And I think these guys. I never gonna instigate fight between both of them. Did I think Kamaru can go to middleweight and become a champion? Yes, 100%. I do. Right? Israel can win? Yes, they can win. It's such an intriguing matchup, but also I never want to get involved in friendship and feeling and brotherhood. This is not who I am. But did I want Kamaru to beat everybody up? Yes, 100%. But if they're friends, I'm gonna respect their friendship. I respect their brotherhood, but good friends help each other make money, and if they can make a lot of money, both of them, let them fight if they want to fight. But if they don't want to fight, I can live with it. I will live with Kamaru knocking out Kobe Covington November 6th, waking up to the light, and giving the whole world a favor, not have to hear this piece of crap one more time. I don't want to cuss. I want to be professional. I want to be nice, but Kobe Covington have a problem November 6th, have a big problem, called the Nigerian IPA problem, called the Trevor Whitman problems, and he's going to have a big problem, and Kamaru's getting better. I don't know if you guys seen this or not. Can you at least agree with that? We see his last fight. He fought one of the best strikers in the division. He knocked him out to a different dimension. I was actually concerned about Masvidal. He's not my friend. I don't really care about him like that. I was concerned about him as a human being, as a father, to see if he's okay. I was very happy. Don't get it twisted. But I was concerned about him as his well-being because I never want to see anybody get hurt. The only side I want to get hurt is Kobe Covington. I want to see this guy get hurt. I do. And I don't mind. I don't want to see Chandler get hurt, but I want Justin to knock his light out. Because Justin doesn't like Chandler either. It's not just me. I want to just humble him a little bit. That's about it.
Okay, I got to ask about Frankie Edgar. He's fighting in Madison Square Garden as well. Not necessarily the matchup we thought we were going to get. Maybe a bit of a surprising one. So what happened there?
Yeah, the plan was we want to fight O'Malley because we heard O'Malley want to fight somebody in the ring. O'Malley, I don't know what's going on with this kid. I like him, but he said he don't want to fight him, and I don't get it. How are we gonna say no to fighting someone like Frankie? And Cheeto Vera stepped up. He said he want to fight. We took the fight. Much respect for him and his team. And Frankie fighting Cheeto Vera opening the pay-per-view on November 6th.
Big moment for Frankie, Madison Square Garden. Is he pretty excited about that one?
Man, Frank is always ready, man. Frank is always big moment for Frankie. Win or lose or draw, never a down moment. What a legend. I wouldn't be here without Frankie and Renzo Gracie today. And I'm always gonna owe it to Frankie. I'm always gonna be excited about Frankie. I'm always gonna be in Frankie's corner more than anyone's corner. And I can't wait for Frankie to fight Cheeto. Cheeto's a tough fighter. We have a tough fight in our hand. but I believe Frankie is always going to deliver, and he's going to be the winner.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask you about Rumble Johnson. Scary stuff going on, right, with this bacteria in his stomach. Can you tell us how he's doing? I mean, are we even thinking about fighting right now, or is this more just still the time to just focus on him being healthy?
He just texted me yesterday. He said, "I will become the Bellator champion." You know, nothing gonna break him. He's very motivated. My main thing is his health. You know, make sure to get the right treatment. It is hard because there's a lot of stuff. And I feel I'm not. I need to do enough. I all the time feel I don't do more when people say. And he see me as in good spirit. I love Anthony, one of the realest, one of the most loyal guy you can ever think of. And I love Anthony. If you hear this, Anthony, I love you. I thank you for you being you, and I'm gonna ride with you to the day that we fall off. But you can't talk about Anthony and not talk about Bellator event this weekend, Corey Anderson. We have to give my man Corey some credit. I believe Corey Anderson, it's in the mindset, is not man on the planet, has been born, was born, will born, will beat Corey Anderson. The man have transformed to this person. He's unstoppable right now. I see some of his footage, sparring also. I talk to the coaches. They say every sparring partner they get, they don't come back. He's smashing everybody so badly. He's fighting Brian Bader, great fighter. But I think it's Corey's time right now. I think Corey will be the Bellator champion at the end of the season. I think we'll stop everyone. I really do. I really, from bottom of my heart, I think he's going to stop Brian Bader. He's going to TKO him probably in the fourth, fifth round. And I think he's going to go on and be the champ also. Great champion. A lot of respect for him. But I think this is Corey's time now.
That would be a big moment for him. Last person I want to ask you about, Ali, Cody Garbrandt making the move down to flyweight. We've still got about 2 months to go. So is this going to be a difficult challenge for him, or do you think this is maybe where he should have been for a while now?
I think Corey is actually a natural flyweight, but he's such a gangster, and he has so much swagger, and he has so much ego. Listen, he's fighting a tough kid. I like this kid. He's fighting a lot, but I think Cody Garbrandt, he's gonna get this fight. Listen, I'm not the matchmaker, but I know the UFC thing. He get this win. We're probably gonna see him fight for a title. I know Askar there is my client too, and I think he should have have a title shot. But I'm not sure. Maybe he needs to be more exciting. He doesn't to talk more, but he doesn't talk. But Cody in a good place. He's doing majority of the camp with Mark Henry and Frankie Edgar. He's still working out with Chris, Danny Castillo, and all those great guys. But he's very focused. He's very tuned in. Honestly, I never seen his focus is now. I never seen. He's always have some distraction going on. He always have something going on. I have not seen Cody is focused. And I'm gonna tell you something. In December, whoever fighting Cody, he's gonna have his hand full. I feel he stopped this kid in 2 rounds. I'll be shocked if it lasts more than that. And I think every one of us wanted to say Cody is back. Everybody, we love him. He always give us great fight. He's a great guy. He's a great guy to talk to. He never complain, and he's always down to fight whoever he want to fight. 2 things. He need to be focused and healthy. And guess what? He is focused and he's healthy. And he's ready.
Well, Ali, you've been very good with your time, so I feel bad to take any more of it. But I did want to ask you just, I guess, a couple more if it's okay, because you've got so many big fights coming up. How about Patchy Mix and Gallagher going at it in Bellator? I think that's a huge fight that's been in the making for a while.
I think, listen, there's a lot of bad blood there. I don't know what to think about this kid. I don't know if he's a gangster or he's a nice guy or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. It's a great matchup. It's one of the biggest fights I think Bellator can put on. I think Petri Mix is gonna go to Ireland. It's always fun. It's always fun when we go there and beat some of the SPG guys. There's no love for any of them. It's never will be love. Anybody SPG is an enemy. And I think Patrick Mix is gonna strangle him, probably in 2 rounds. Max in the 3rd round. James Gallagher he's not a bad fighter. I think he's tough. And now I respect James Cross so much. And that's why I have to be respectful to this kid a little bit. And I think he's an amazing coach. And I think you're going to see the best James Gallagher. But also, you have Jake Shield been helping Patrick Mix for the last couple of months. And I think it's going to be a high-level mixed martial art fight. But I think there's level to this. And I think Patrick Mix is just on a completely different level than him.
Yeah. That's going to be a fantastic fight. I'll tell you another one of your clients is doing big things in Bellator. Neiman Gracie is doing phenomenal. And I hear a lot of people saying, at the end of the day, he's going to be the greatest Gracie to ever compete. What's going on with him right now? He's got to have some big fights lined up in his immediate future.
Oh, okay. MVP, every time he fight, he didn't win his last fight. I think he lost his last fight. That's my opinion. But this guy, I don't know what his problem was. Neiman. Every time Bellator asks about Neiman, they say he does not answer the phone for at least a month. Like they say, he go to different dimension. And he just don't want to have nothing to do with Neiman. I think that's one of the biggest fights the Bellator can make. I think, I don't know, the ranking in Bellator is a little bit crazy about this guy. He should not be ranked in the top 5. Arguably, you can say Paul Daly beat him, out-wrestled him. Can you imagine what Neiman would do, right? I think Bellator welterweight division is really good. The champ is very good, but I like Neiman chance against any of these guys. When he fought Jason Jackson, Neiman didn't have an MCL. His MCL was gone. Jason is a good fighter. I like Jason, but I would like to see this rematch at one point, not now, but I think the right fight, Neiman should fight MVP. I know it's not going to happen, but Mike Hogan tried. I know Scott Coker tried. But MVP and his team don't want to have nothing to do with Neiman Gracie. Neiman Gracie, to me, the best Gracie competed in mixed martial art. Hand down. He is. It's the competition, the time, how he's always going to be there, and Henzo and these guys. Neiman is just, I think, one of the greatest. I think he is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That would be a great matchup. I'd love to see it put together. So we'll see if Bellator can do it. Maybe they can change MVP's mind.
Let's make this happen.
There you go. It's that easy. Hey, I did want to look forward. We're already booking fights for next year, which is amazing. It looks like Giga Chikadze, I don't know if it's all tied up and official yet, but it looks like he's got a big fight, another main event for him with Calvin Kattar. Talk to me about this fight and where Giga is, because Giga seems to feel like, hey, his time is now, and he's ready to challenge for the title, sooner rather than later.
This guy used to come to Vegas every weekend when he's under the UFC contract for somebody to fall out to fill in, right? He's the only guy, when Rafael dos Anjos lost, he called me, you want to fight Islam Makhachev. This is what kind of type of Giga is, right? Listen, much respect for Kevin Kattar to take this fight, because nobody wanted to fight Giga. It's fact. Nobody wanted to fight Giga. I think Giga is one of the best featherweight, maybe is the best featherweight on the planet today. I believe he will be a future champion, and I believe he's a bad matchup for the champ. The worst matchup for the champ, because the guy can punch, he can kick, he have great grappling, and his takedown defense is impeccable. If people think Giga is a kickboxer, they're crazy. Giga's is a world champion in BJJ with a gi. It's a blue belt too. People doesn't know this. I think we see, everybody said Barboza is the best striker in the division. We see what he did. He make him look like an amateur, right? And they can fight 10 times. He would have knocked Barboza 10 times out. I believe he will knock out the champ. I believe Kevin Kattar is so tough. I'm not going to say he's going to knock him out, but it's possible because he's just so tough. I think it's going to be a nice win for him. And it's going to be a great fight for the fan. Yeah, they're going to fight. Me and everything is good, just his paperwork stuff, nothing big, but this fight should happen beginning of next year.
Awesome, man. Well, definitely looking for that one. That'll be a great way to kick off 2022. Well, listen, Ali, you've been great with your time, man. We can sit here and talk all day. You've got so many fighters coming up. I think you've got like 30, 35 people fighting on the UFC and Bellator the next. I mean, it's insane what you got going on. So thank you for your time, and we'll do this again hopefully sooner rather than later.
It's an honor, brother. Always talk to you. One of the best guys. I'd love to talk to you personally. and looking forward to talk to you again soon.